So I'm very, very happy to introduce our next guest, and I'm going to introduce her in the right way.
Thank you.
She is a comedian, a very successful one. She is a podcast host, a very successful one. She is the winner of Traitors Season 1.
Thank you.
And she's one of my best friends, I'm lucky enough to say. Welcome, Hannah. Thank you so much for coming on.
No, I am thrilled to be here.
I remember when we first met because that was at a comedy gig.
Was that at
It was after Traitors. It was at the
Soho Theatre?
Yeah.
Wasn't it your?
Yeah, we went. Yeah, I took you, didn't I? I called Hannah and said, "Do you want to come?" And we would come and watch you for the first time.
No, I didn't come in because I had a gig.
Oh, you had a double. Yeah, you had two gigs that night.
Double gig, so I had to shoot.
Yeah,
off.
I came.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kindred spirits.
Yes. Because I always when I was watching you on Traitors, because it was so weird how they introduced everyone.
Yeah.
And they were like, Hannah, comedian. And I always thought, was there an emphasis for you did you feel like you had to be funny?
I kind of, no, not really, because
no one else went on to do their jobs.
No.
That's what I mean. So I thought it was very weird how they put it on there.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a comedy show.
Well, exactly. And that's why I think I didn't really feel any pressure. I just wanted to go and have a nice time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I also thought, because I had to quit my job before, so I was just starting to do paid gigs and kind of like, you know what it's like when you first start doing comedy. You're trying to chase the invoices. You're like, I need to get and do these gigs and whatever. And I thought, maybe this will just give me a little bit of a boost. So I wasn't really bothered about being funny. Turns out, wasn't really. But behind the scenes,
however,
hilarious.
I'm gonna allude to this.
Yeah.
Like
Hilarious.
I had probably. Well, we had one of the funniest days on there, which we'll cover at some point, where we were literally crying, and there was loads of humour in the background, but the humour don't make the cut.
No.
That's what I'm saying, they don't
Which
show
is
that.
fine.
Yeah, we know it,
because
yeah.
that's not the aim of the game.
Yeah.
You want tension. But what's happened, nicely, is that people have gone, well, she was shit in the show, so let's go see if she is funny. And I'll take them tickets.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because it weren't so much. No, you weren't shit. It was like it wasn't a comedy show.
Didn't have the opportunity. Yeah.
Well, like you said, you can imagine, like, especially if you know anything about sort of being around TV production, there's stuff that happens backstage, so you know there would have been stuff.
Yeah.
But to the layman that's watching it, they just go, "She's meant to be a comedian."
Yeah.
But then it took me sort of the first episode to go past them, because once that's gone, you're into the show.
Yeah.
One bit they show where about where's these endorphins everyone's talking about. That was the only one line they left when we done the barrel chat.
The one that I
they
think
left
was really funny, which wasn't intentional, was when I knew that you were a tracer.
We've got to talk about you and Will.
Yes.
That was a fun dynamic to watch all the way through.
Yeah. Everybody was like, "You fucking mug."
Yeah.
But I wasn't really, because look, I'm not going to pretend to know that it was him.
Yeah.
But The Traitors is a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get given like complete and utter freedom to lie, be deceitful, like all the fun stuff that you can't actually do in real life and make you a shithead. People are like, no, you can do it. This is the game. And I don't think that people behave the same way when they're lying, and that's because I would have done anything. I wanted to be a traitor.
She wanted to be a traitor, yeah.
I would have lied.
Yeah.
I would have tricked. I would have done everything.
Thank God you fucking weren't.
I know. I would have smashed.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, I was like, hang on, why am I looking for these traitors? Because all that happens is you get
killed off early.
Killed off.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to sit back and relax, make myself fun to be around, so that people like maybe want me there.
We always say this,
but I'm not going to be too threatening.
There's an effective play. People say, it makes me laugh when viewers are watching. There's only ever been 44 people that have played the traitors.
Yeah.
Have you go in the show, get on the show, have your opinions, then come back and talk to us. So there is levels to that game, and playing the middle ground, knowing when to talk, knowing when to shut up. What we said, I just want to survive day by day and see where we go.
Tall poppies and short weeds get picked first.
Mate, simply.
You can't be doing fuck all.
Yeah.
But you can't be too. And I was like, also, if I get rid of a traitor, they're just going to get another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why am I bothering my arse?
Because you came on the radar quite early, didn't you? Some of the round tables you were mentioned. I don't know whether it is episode 4.
Also, do you know what really annoys me? Is that everyone was like, you don't know it's Wilf. I got everyone else.
Yeah.
Got everyone
Yeah.
else.
God, mate, we were even though Will was in our team on that time, but me and you were like, it's a matriarch, it's a woman. Remember me and you standing on the stairs and we were like, mate, Amanda was on our road. Me and you, that was on Amanda. Amanda even done her myth saying, I'm really worried about Hannah and I'm really worried about Kieran because we were on her, weren't we? We were the first person to get her. You done Alyssa that day, I done Will when I first came back in, but you were still bang on the money.
Yeah.
So.
And to be honest, I didn't really care. Even though Maddie was like, 12, I was like, why would I listen to you? Because I am still in here and I don't know why.
Yeah.
So if it is him, I didn't think it was, to be fair, I did. But if it is him, why would I get rid of him? Because someone's keeping me in.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have
Do you watch back when he done the slip up, when he said, do you remember when he slipped up and you two were talking on the gravel outside the castle and it's the first time he made
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no, and you were like, because normally you would have been on
No,
that luck.
I was too, because I also thought Wilf went to Faye, because we had that dinner party.
Yeah.
Wilf then said he trusted me. So I was more worried about my link, like growing apart from him so I'd get murdered. So I was more worried about that. I was just focusing on myself. I was like, I don't care what anyone else is doing. I just don't want to leave.
Well, that's a big moment as well. At the dinner party, we were speaking about it with Theo when he came on the show about, like, it was great. It was a bit of downtime, but the dinner party had so many elements going on. Like, obviously, Will not picking you, me picking Will. It was everyone. It was a nice little bit of downtime, and we were laughing when we were sitting there as well. Everyone had their stories of their past, and when it got round to me and Hannah, they were like, right, cut, we're going to the, like, why you're here.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've happened in your life? So Andrea done her story, like all real life stories. And me and Hannah got pied off. Didn't we? Like, oh fuck, they've got time to tell my story.
No, I was like, fine. I haven't got anything more to say. Andrew, I'm absolutely fine. I've got no trauma, and but please don't get rid of me, thanks.
But that's the first time I think with your emotion, obviously. Red Breakfast, as a viewer, I wasn't in the show then, but watching the Red Breakfast is probably one of my favourite
oh my
ever.
God.
What was that like being in it?
It was really annoying, and when I get angry I cry.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not upset or sad, anger just makes me cry, and everyone's like, oh, you're right, and I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I'm just angry.
It's more angry or crying or violence.
Yeah, exactly. And I usually choose violence, but this was on TV and I know not to do that. It was really weird because emotions were so high, but I was also really excited by it. I don't know what that says about me. I'm into some weird shit. But it was really, the one thing that annoyed me is that Tom was trying to manipulate people.
Yeah.
And I was like, Joe, I'm so fun. And getting into comedy, I was already sick of men trying to put me in a pigeonhole, trying to be like, oh, you're a woman, you're not funny. Or men saying that kind of shit. And I was like, I'm already sick of this. And now I've got another bloke trying to tell me what to do. And I was like, there's nothing more annoying than a straight white man. There's nothing more annoying than a straight white man trying to tell me what to do. Yeah. And I saw red completely.
Great. That's the first time where you'd seen you like being quite blasé and playing the game for you losing your shit.
Yeah, really lost
pushed the button. Yeah.
And I mean, I like Tom in real life. He's a really nice guy, but in that moment, I was like,
it was great to watch.
I don't want to be your game. I don't want to be in your little game. And obviously, you're then like, are you doing that for airtime? What's your motive? Are you like? And I was like, well, there's two of you, so surely I should have thought about this at the time, but one of them couldn't have been a traitor because they would have had like signals for each other.
Yeah.
They would have had so many things that. So really, I should have known that they were both.
Yeah, but again, in that show, like I say,
also in the end,
in it, you don't like. It must be so difficult because
so many different things.
We're watching it like when I was watching you and Will. I'm watching this going, how does she not know?
Yeah.
But you can't because then you go in the show.
Yeah,
he did play a really good game.
Oh, he was amazing.
Oh. Yeah, when he did that slip up, I thought you were going to catch on to that.
No, I didn't care.
We were saying
I was just thinking about myself.
We were saying about. We've asked everyone who's your favourite trainer. Said about how he played a good game. But I'll honestly say, no matter what people say about me and Will have a great relationship. We talk each other. We have no issues at all. I still think Will was the best traitor. I still think.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He had the hardest game. He didn't have something to research to. He didn't have. Season 1 to watch. So his game, I believe, was a lot harder than season 2.
But what I won't have is because and I've said this to Wilf before. Yeah. I think being a traitor. I think it was different for you because you were a faithful and then a traitor.
Oh, I hated it.
I think being a traitor is really easy.
Yeah, I do.
From the beginning, I think it's really
massive advantage.
You've got all the information. Yeah. There's no risk of you getting murdered at night. Because that's the worst.
Yeah, mate.
If I go out at a round table where I've got a chance to defend myself, which I did, because there was a time where it could have been me or Ivan, If I've got a chance to defend myself, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I go out then and I've done everything I
isn't
can.
it? Yeah.
But the murdering,
Yeah.
I just can't. That would
A lot of people are pissed. I'd rather go out swinging and.
But it's a game, and that's it, and everybody understands that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I suppose you get some people in the general public being like, "Oh, how could you lie? How can you be like
That's
that,
me.
dickhead?"
Yeah.
But
That's me.
For me, I'm like, it. Everybody had the same information.
Yeah.
Everybody knew.
I sat on the fence purely because I take TV so seriously. I have to remind myself to wind my net back in.
Yeah.
Because I do take it because I love it. I love
yeah.
watching this stuff so much.
Yeah.
But there's times I've watched like soaps.
Yeah.
And someone's done something on a soap, and I thought if I ever see him in public, and that's an actor.
Batter him.
Yeah. There'll be shows where the character's been written so well.
Yeah.
That I'm angry.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because it's a show.
Well, the amount of shit Joffrey got off Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like people were sending him death threats. It's like
I would have done that. I hated him.
Yeah,
He's the worst.
That's a good actor.
But that's he was at the extreme where such a good actor, like he was at a different level where he can grate you and rub you up that much.
Yeah.
And he deserves a fucking Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, great program. Let's be honest, absolutely fantastic. But Joffrey, yeah,
it's the one where he
so
dies.
Good. So good. Yeah, everyone's celebrating.
Everyone got so. Imagine being an actor and everyone's so happy that you just died.
Yeah.
And the way that he was treating Tyrion, all that. I mean, this is a massive segue.
Yeah.
But that's how annoyed. I'm annoyed again about
he now doesn't act anymore.
Yeah.
Because
no way.
Shit. Well, I don't
I've
know.
not seen him in it,
to
be
stuff,
fair,
but
he did
he's
take
an
a step back.
incredible actor.
And I did think that with Wilf when he came out of this is like how would the public view him now?
Yeah.
Because so at the end of season 1 when he turned around and says that he was a traitor, and I still didn't believe him when he was going, I really wanted you to win out. So glad you caught me. I'm thinking, are you?
I don't think he had an option not to say anything like that.
Yeah, I think you have to, but even still, I was like, no. So
you know what? The reason why I think that it is true is, well, I just got to know him throughout the whole time, and also I did see it was almost like you could see relief in his face when he revealed himself. He went, oh, and I was like, I don't think you could fake that.
He played it so long, and you immerse yourself in that role.
Yeah.
We were good. You don't get through that. There's a bit of luck involved, but there is levels to that game to get that far along and all the twists and turns that he had. I mean,
but also nobody said this about Amanda.
No.
You know what I mean? Everybody's like, Amanda's fun, and Amanda's like a gay icon. She's a laugh. She's this, like,
and she was
doing the same thing.
She was the most brutal. We said earlier, we was like, she. Will took a bit of time to get into the role. Amanda was like a duck till it was like, right, let's get this killing done. I'm good to go. We're like, whoa.
Well, I think I would
you would have been like her on steroids. Yeah, you would have been fucking.
Get them all out now.
Burn the castle down. When did you know then with him? What made was it the look?
It was the look that made
it was 2 things.
Do you know what it was? I wasn't really looking. I knew it was Kieran because guilt was written all over his face.
She knew me from day one. So
I was like, I think you came down for breakfast, and I was like, oh yeah, he's a traitor now.
When I opened the door, Hannah, when I opened the door, and I was like,
hi.
Why did you open the door like a killer, Kieran? I don't know.
I think it was then, and then it was like, it's not just him, but I don't think any of us realised how close we were to the final because also we didn't know the rules of the game.
No.
Yeah.
So they'd only tell us what was going to happen at the end of every day. So when it was, how many of the were as when you?
There was 5. There was five left, then you 4.
So it still felt as though we were still a good few days away from the end. And it was like, oh, all right. And then when we got rid of you, and then
because what was it you said when you left?
So. Parting gift,
but then it's the like, cause people argue about it. What was it? Was it the cryptic? Because Hannah, you could see your face changing, but I always think there was always an element with you. With people say you was blindsided, I think you still didn't. You say you trusted Will 100%, but I still think there was you never were sure, and anyone really was.
You can't be.
No,
yeah, you can't be.
But I think with the cryptic clues, you can see her head ticking. Then obviously the parting gift. Then the look, which is one of my favourite scenes of the 8 seconds of me looking at Hannah looking at Will looking at me. But then him giving Hannah an ultimatum at the
Yeah,
bar.
yeah, there was that, yeah.
So
Because then Wilf changed and became really panicked and was like, if you get rid of me, I'll never speak to you again. And I was like, it's weird behaviour.
Yeah.
So I think that was the nail for me. I thought that was a nail in the coffin for him, but obviously you're different. But yeah,
No, I think that was probably.
So if he had not said that, would you have gone, no, I think he's a faithful?
If Wilford carried, the thing is, until you stood at that fire, and I knew, like I say, we didn't know how close we were to the final, and then when I was stood there with Meryl and Aaron, the only reason I think I was convinced about them two is because they kind of looked to me, as to what we were going to do next. So they were both like, what we're doing, and I was like, if you're playing a traitor and saying that's incredible game plan. If you're trying to make me feel as though I'm the leader. And I knew it was Meryl. Meryl couldn't have been one. Like, she was so clueless. Yeah. Like that morning when she came in, she was like, I know it's fate. It's fate. It's fate. It's fate. Everyone's fate. And then everyone kept coming to breakfast. She was like, morning, by the way, it's fate. Anyway, and then it was like, fate's been murdered. She was like, it's not fair. And I was like, this girl hasn't got a fucking clue. So I knew it wasn't her. And I thought, I was stood at the fight, and I don't know if I would have gone, all that stuff from Maddie, all that stuff from other people, Kieran. Should I risk it? Because 30 grand to me, I'd lost my job.
Yeah.
I needed to pay rent in London for another 6 months before I could get out of my house. I was planning on going back and moving with my parents and gigging full time. And I was like, 30 grand could literally save me. Even though it's not a huge amount of money.
It was what you needed.
But I was like, I can't think about anybody else. You have to think about yourself. Because everyone's owed it. Everyone deserves it.
Yeah.
It's just chance. And I don't know if I'd have got there without... I mean, Kieran saying that obviously then started the whole Wilf panicking, changed his behaviour. Then that made me think, I don't think I trust you. But had I have got down to that fire without that, I think there's a good chance I could have lost it. But I also think when it's like, you can have this if you just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because he might be unfaithful. And if he was, I probably would have voted Meryl or Aaron out. But... there was just that, like, it's up to you now. That was the only time in the game where I had control.
Yeah.
I would say as well, for me, on that last day, I knew I was dead. I knew I was over. Obviously, I've got to go and do my nails.
Yeah.
All the sites were there. But for me, the biggest thing was I'm never going to turn Hannah around or make her doubt Will. Hannah, Aaron and Meryl would follow. You were the natural leader. So my only job was to try, not to convince you, to just leave something. See if you picked it up. That was it, because everything was in your hands on that last episode.
Yeah.
Me and Will was both at the peril. The other two were just honestly along for the ride. Because Aaron would have definitely, whatever you done, Aaron, and it played out exactly the same thing. Aaron and Mel would have definitely followed you.
Yeah.
So it all was on you, the whole lot.
You say you leave something, you see if she puts it up. You dropped a fucking ton of bricks.
Yeah, you kind of went, thanks so much, it is Wilf.
Yeah, even watching at home, I was like, you might as well just said his name. You should have just gone, don't trust him, that one.
Yeah, it was an interesting one for me,
But that was really interesting for, I think, is like, because it was billed as a bit of a social experiment when we first went on it.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really interesting point, is like, well, I'm not going to burn down the castle as I leave. I'm going to try and give someone something.
And I had a choice. I had a simple choice. Shut up, say nothing.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Or try, and I'd like to say a massive soft spot for you. Aaron with the money for his mum's house and stuff. Like, really pulled on my heartstrings. Loads of stuff were cut out when we were coming back from the best we're talking about in a minute, the mission as well. That was my personal favourite, the final mission. Like, I fucking loved that. Like, when I see you jump out the helicopter, and you didn't even batter an eyelid. Anyone
what
jump
was
out,
that like?
Yes!
Because I'll tell you what, I'll wait for it to land. I will wait for it to land.
Do you know what? I'm obsessed with water.
Yeah.
She's
like a dolphin, mate. She's a strongest swimmer. Yeah.
So much. And so when they were like, you're going to jump out of a helicopter, I was like,
it's
like, BBC aren't going to let you die. They've had too many things wrong for them. They're not going to let me fucking die.
How high was it?
High.
It wasn't that high.
It was
only about 15 metres, but it felt really high. And then when I went down, I came back up and I gave him the thumbs up, but the harness had fell down, so it was around my ankles, so I just had to swim my arms.
Oh yeah, the
which was
panic.
petrifying, but it was really, really fun.
Oh,
The worst bit was Kieran and Will trying to drag me into the fucking speed. Like a beach
We're getting us in. She had, I don't know where to grab. I was trying to grab her arse and pull her in.
This is going on TV.
She went, I hope this don't go on. I was like, I hope it does.
Oh, it did, yeah. No, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And they were really nice because even though we all were kind of going against each other, they were the moments where you all come together.
Oh, that was a nice moment. I knew it was over for me, so I couldn't enjoy that last day as much as I could, but I was still taking in the surroundings and go, fuck me, I'm on a speedboat. I've just been in that, going the other bit of the helicopter picking us up from the castle, and they didn't show too much, but the helicopter pilot was taking us on twists and turns. He was like going on the side, like we were hanging on for dear life. And I mean, I've never been in a helicopter, and I've never been in a helicopter with people I care about over the fucking, what's it called, the Inverness in the Highlands in Scotland. Like, it's memories I will cherish. You know what I mean? It's not your average day going into like a wild boar trying to get money, and
No.
it was good. It was a memory that I will cherish. And I let my kids, well, my oldest son, watch the missions. He said he wants to watch it. He's not watching any of the trauma around the table. Don't want to damage that poor boy. But I let him watch the missions. And he'd like for seeing his dad in like helicopter and speed. I mean, they were cool missions, weren't they? So
Yeah, they were
I'm
great.
very proud of that. Are you excited for season 3?
I'm not
You've
gonna
been
watch
watching it.
No,
You're not. I
no,
don't care. do
No,
you?
I don't care. I'm just.
You got
get
900
out.
people in your castle last year.
Get out of my castle. I was like, that's my turn. No, I don't cope well.
The
At
Queen
all.
has
I'm
spoken.
jealous.
Oh, so this is a question we've had for people. Like, what was it like watching
Horrible.
season 2?
Horrible.
People seeing people playing with your toys, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, and my mum was like, don't like it. And I was like, that was just because she was like, I want to see you with that cat. But no, it was weird watching it, and it's also weird knowing that I make judgments based on that outfit.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Even though I've been through it, I've
Yeah.
lived it, and I know that that's not true, but I still did it.
Oh, it's put together so well because you really do. And like, my opinion changed from the first
Yeah,
10 minutes of watching it
yeah,
when I thought, why are they telling me who the traitor is? Now I've got nothing
Yeah.
to figure out.
yeah,
And then within minutes, I'm like, how can they not see this?
yeah, yeah.
And it's much better that way.
It is.
When you know.
Because there's so much you wouldn't see,
Yeah.
and there's so much fun in it for you to know who it is.
Yeah.
For us not.
So with the here's the question we've asked everyone.
Yeah,
So, all-star traitors.
yeah,
Would you go back to do it?
yeah.
Who would you like to play against?
Oh.
And who would you like to play with?
Oh, I would be back in there tomorrow. No
Yeah.
problem. Get me tampons packed.
Would you like to go in there as a traitor or
A
faithful?
traitor, 100%.
Mm.
Oh, I wouldn't go as faithful again, like a mug. No, like just like dicking around, like no way. I think I'd want to play. I'd probably, do you know what? I'd probably put you and Wilf.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody would be. I think everybody would be like, well, we'll get rid of Wilf because we know he was in it last time, and then I'd like, yeah.
See you, Will.
I'd get rid of Wilf
Yeah.
immediately, and then I'd kind of
Keep me on
I'd-
side, then you'd fuck
I'd
me off
keep
last
you, be like,
minute.
it's not going to be him
wouldn't
again, is it?
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
And then I'd definitely throw Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Early first one.
And I'd go in, I'd be like, do you know what? Since the first season, I've actually changed to become a magician. I know exactly who it is.
I can
And I'd
read
get Tom and
everyone
I'd be
in
like,
this
"Sorry,
room.
I can read everyone in this room. I've now retrained.
Yeah.
And I'd get rid of the
That's still one of my favourite bets.
Oh, my.
Put so
No, I
much
do
money on that bet, didn't they?
He
Oh,
looks so guilty. He looks so guilty.
Hannah,
after-
you loved that moment so much.
I was
It's
very- you could
beautiful.
see
wasn't
my
it?
face
Yeah.
there.
When he stood up there, I was funny. I was watching it the other night, replaying it. Mum, I remember you standing up there and you just smiling at him as he's going. You weren't even like bothered about the outcome. You were just happy.
I was like, I can't. Like, and I even said to him, I was like, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
But I cannot. If you there's a small chance that you are a traitor, and after all this, I can't have you win. So you're gonna have to go.
Yeah.
You've got to go. I'm not even bothered.
You answered that question earlier, saying that sometimes, and it is true, you know, when, like, even if you didn't think there was a traitor or you thought it was a faithful, someone pissed you off or rattled you and you
Yeah.
had nothing else, you think, I'm just going to fucking.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It was, wasn't it? Because we were like drained some days. Oh, let's
Yeah,
get this
yeah,
over.
yeah.
and done
Just
with.
don't like you got to go.
Yeah, mate. It was,
Also, it isn't who. I mean, you'd be different because you said you feel it quite
yeah.
strongly and like morally, you feel it quite strongly. But I don't believe that everybody acts in the way that they would act if they were lying in real life. Because this sounds like a joke now, but I actually do know. I've got really good intuition.
You have, Hannah.
Okay, yeah.
Every single person who I meet, I'm like, they're a knob.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, you're being so mean.
But how right are you, Hannah? How right are you?
I'm always right.
This is one of my traits. I very rarely get it wrong on my gut. When I do, I'll put my hands on and go, I got it wrong. But I pride myself on knowing when a cock's a cock.
You say that people lying in there, and you're right, because in there's no real consequence to lying.
No. And you don't know them.
Yeah.
Although you do like, it's like dog years in Traitors days. A week's like a year. So you do get to know people very quickly.
But it's
that's so true. That is.
But it's all of it.
Like it was. It speeded up your.
You can't. You can act in a way. It's like, you ever seen someone play Grand Theft Auto? You'd never, like the stuff people do in Grand Theft Auto, you'd never do in real life because you know it's a game.
Or when you're in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're having a go at people.
Oh God, the way people act. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you can put it.
Come on, then, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
And then you end up in traffic.
Oh, that is the
doing the
worst.
window up really.
Yeah. Go on, you. I'm not going to look at the picture.
Yeah.
Or one of them old windows, Emmanuel.
Oh God,
really
remember
quick.
that?
Yeah. It's totally different, and that's what it's like in the train.
Right. It's fascinating to hear how people, because again, we don't get none of this ever shown, and even on like conversations that are shown about traitors, it's not the real in-depth part of it. And that's what's been really fun with this, because we're finding out what happens off camera.
Yeah.
What's something else that happened off camera that you enjoyed there?
I think it was all the time, it was like it was just all the times we were shit. I mean, one time me and Aaron were lying on the sofa having a nap and going, we're tired. Come up or not? And I was like, okay. Can't do that, can't be tired anymore. Oh, we did. It was all just so much like we were lying after, what thingy was it when we were all in this? Oh, it was when we did the speedboat. We were all just lying outside in wetsuits because it was red hot.
Remember me trying to get your wetsuit, so we had to get these wetsuits. Like, Hair's of Grace gone out the window by now, and we'd all seen all sorts of things. Hannah's there in her bra. We've got to try, and she called us in. We're trying to get her wetsuit on. I'm doing
like trying to get sausage meat in the
oh mate, it was like we'd lost all Hair's of Grace by that, but it was like it was so funny.
And there was a spider that ran out of one of the wetsuits, and we were all just losing our minds.
Bits hanging out, all sorts. Yeah, those are nice little moments off camera, but you only had like a couple of minutes in reality.
The best bit was Meryl was drinking about 10 Red Bulls a day.
Yeah, so I've learned so much about Meryl.
Oh my God, she's lost her mind. And
we found out earlier as well, after that, she goes to like Costco, she will buy like a 48 can pack of, she loves it, but does she still hit the Red Bull up? Yeah, she loves it.
How's that not killed her?
I know. Like literally, smashes them up.
The day after, I think she was so off her tits on them because she'd finally got her freedom back that the police pulled her over. Are you okay? She was like, I'm fine. I just said, I can't. No, you've been drinking. Happy to have me Red Bull.
All cans on the passenger seat.
That's right,
We're going to have to breathalyze. Yeah.
Oh, get off her face.
Yeah. Very
It was funny. When we were talking about that as well, me and Maddie about it, because Mel will come under suspicion at one point. I was like, would they make Mel a traitor? I mean, would Mel have been a good traitor? Definitely not. Bless.
You just have to watch Meryl without just watch her in her own environment for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know it's not her.
Yeah.
Unless she's like the most incredible method actor ever, but she's just like, she just doesn't know which way is up.
And it was fun because after that, Hannah, like your relationship, like you did, it's like surrogate mum basically. She in a castle, she wrapped around you. After we've been
clammy hands.
You hate it, so she's got the most clammiest hands, and Hannah would go fucking bullshit.
Yes.
It was at Centre Pass. We all went to Centre Pass, but that was a lovely moment for me where literally you was even staying in the same room. Same lodge. She literally, every time we see him walking, I see Hannah, I see Mel just following behind her. But everywhere she went. So the only night we didn't see is when we stayed up late and had a good drink that night, and she went to bed. But yeah, normal service resumed at 9 a.m. Out she came, Hannah.
Yeah.
Red Bull.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah.
We had a nice time at Centre Park.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
What's life been like after Traitors for you?
Oh, it's just been like the most mental. I think about it every day because not to get too soft about it.
Grateful, yeah.
But every single day I am so grateful because like before I went in the Traitors, I used to manage dementia care homes. I used to work in palliative care. I used to do, and I thought that was going to be my life forever. And then one day I was just on the bus on the way home, and I was like, "Is this it? Is this all I get? Like going to work every day?" And I was like, I was a manager at 28. I was responsible for people's lives and medications, and it was the most. I mean, like I wouldn't change it because it was a really.
But
nice
you always
thing
had a
to do.
dream, though, Hannah, didn't you?
Yeah, I did,
31,
and I thought I wanted to do stand up, and
Yeah.
I started giving it a bash, and I was knackered, and well, you know what it's like
Yeah.
when you're trying to make that. You're like,
Well, you're
"Right,
working
this
full
is a
time
hobby for
and
me.
you're doing stand up.
I want this
Yeah.
to be my job."
Yeah.
And you're coming home at like 2, 3 in the morning. You have to get up again at 6 every day
Yeah.
to go and just make sure that you're paying the bills. And I remember I'd had a breakup. I remember being stood outside by the bins at work.
Yeah, I
on the phone
remember,
to my
yeah.
mum. About a week before the Traitors got in touch with me, like, "Can you come on?" And I was like, "I think this is my lowest."
Yeah.
And I was 31, and I was like, I thought I'd have shit sorted by now, and I haven't.
Do you know what? A good gig really will fuck your day up the next day at work.
Oh yeah.
Because you've gone from a show.
Massive high.
Yeah, and then
You
all of a
can't sleep.
sudden, yeah, you'll get back. I remember the first time I played the Comedy Store,
Oh God.
and it was the first weekend I did there as well. So the first one was on the Thursday, so then I had to get back to work on the Friday, and on that Friday I'm sat in the office thinking I couldn't give a fuck about being here.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just not the same. Like and as bad as it felt, I thought I don't care,
No.
which is wrong for the people that are employing you. But you've just got because you've just had a taste of everything that you want,
Yeah.
and now you're sat in a place that's got nothing you want, and you don't want to be there, and you're itching to get out. And that day felt like it
And
went.
it feels unfair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not. It's like
And you're knackered as well because you're right. I didn't get home till 3 o'clock, and I can't sleep.
your adrenaline's
Yeah,
going.
and now you're back up in
Very
there.
proud of you, Hannah, and the family,
Oh,
and
thank
everyone. Like it's panned out exactly how it should
No,
be.
it's
like,
stunning.
I'm really
absolutely
happy.
stunning.